Hey guys, we're going live. We're live here on the Kellie Kitchen. Hey, how you guys doing? It's been a mad scramble, but welcome to the Kellie Kitchen. You're here for food, health, and fun. It has been a whirlwind day. I have been scrambling to get back in action. I have, let's see, am I online here? Yes, I think I'm good there too. That's Facebook, there's YouTube. So I was gone all weekend. I didn't have a chance to do any batch cooking yesterday. I have 0 people to cook for today. So I decided to do a little batch cooking. I made a spiced zucchini bread a couple of years ago, and it's really delicious. I'm still perfecting the recipe, and I've actually made it already. I'm just getting ready to put it into the oven. So we'll see how that goes. It's kind of like those pumpkin cheesecake bars that I made last week, and then they turned out amazing, and so then I was able to post it. I also shopped my fridge, and I knew that I had some sausage in there, and my pumpkin sausage soup that I posted last week on thekelliekitchen.com. I have made it in the past, and I put it up on the blog, but I haven't made it with you guys, and I knew that I had some sausage that I had to use, so we are going to make that. All weekend long, I was with my girlfriend, who is a super hardcore gluten-free vegan. So like kind of opposite from everything that I do, because I'm all about like meat and cheese and dairy. And of course I am grain-free. She's not grain-free, but we made this really delicious green curry. And it was with her stuff, which was like potatoes and squash and peas. So we're gonna do it a little bit different, and we're gonna actually make it with chicken and snow peas. And what else am I making with? Oh, chicken, snow peas, and mushrooms. So it's gonna make it into like a soup. So I actually started everything to get going because I wanted to sort of get through things a little bit quicker. I wanted to show you. I know that my spiced zucchini bread does not look good in the pan right now, but it smells amazing. And basically it's like zucchini bread, but the main ingredient and what makes it so dark like this is actually cloves, ground cloves. We used to go to a restaurant out in Malibu called Coogie's. It's no longer there. They have one still in Santa Monica, but they always had the best zucchini bread. So I recreated it. It goes into the oven for 45 minutes. So I don't know if it's going to be done by the time that we're done, but I figured I'd make it. And if it's as fabulous as I think it's going to be, it will definitely go up on the blog. We'll just put that in. It's like 350, and we're going to do it for 45 minutes. And come on, buddy. It's taking so long. So we're going to do the green curry first. I am flying by the seat of my pants on this because we made the green curry stuff from scratch because she really needed to have it from scratch. But I actually, I've seen this green curry paste in the supermarket a million times, and it really kind of scares me. The homemade stuff is so delicious, but there was about, I don't know, 20 different ingredients that went into just this green curry paste. Now, I don't totally love that it comes like in a jar like this, and it certainly doesn't have the vibrant green that the recipe that we made was, but all of the ingredients in here, I can read every single one of them, so that makes me super happy. And I used an entire jar of this. I like spicy foods, and I don't think that this is that spicy. If this recipe goes well, you probably will want to do half the amount of spice. We're going to do this in the Instant Pot. I already got everything sort of started here. I'm going to turn these this way. Hello, there's my Instant Pot. So in my Instant Pot, I already put a can of coconut milk, and I get all my stuff from Thrive. which I love. So I did a can of coconut milk. I did a full jar of this, which is 4 ounces. And then I did some cumin and some coriander. And I put my Instant Pot on saute. So I just kind of mixed all that stuff together. I was trying to get all of my chicken and everything cut before I got you guys on live, because you don't really need to watch me chop chicken. However, I wasn't that organized. So I'm just going to chop up my chicken into little chunks right now. And you guys can see, again, no antibiotics, hormone free. This is 2.5 pounds. I'm kind of, again, flying by the seat of my pants, but I'm kind of doing a batch cook thing here. I know all the flavors are going to taste really amazing, and I would love to be able to see, this is completely already trimmed of any sort of cartilage or skin. I don't know. For me, I like to have all those things off of there so that I don't have to, you know, after it's cooked, then I would bite into it. I don't really like that. And we are going to pop all of this chicken into, you can even put this chicken in raw into the Instant Pot. You can put it in, I'm sorry, not raw. You can put it in frozen, straight from the freezer, and already have it in little chunks, like you can do sort of like a batch cook that way. This is 2.5 pounds of chicken, and I think that's, you know, that's a great amount if you're serving a family of 3 or 4 or 5, or for me, because nobody's here tonight eating, it's just going to be me, and then it'll be leftovers for lunch tomorrow, and then this will be dinner tomorrow too. So I love being able to do that. If you were part of my whole life challenge, which I hope you will be, I have 13 people on my team. It starts on Saturday. If you haven't heard me talk about it, the whole life challenge is a 6-week challenge where you log on to wholelife.com, you sign up. I think it's $60 now. When I started talking about this, it was $25. So any of those of you who have kind of sat back and you're kind of waiting for something, you know, the pain point to feel a little bit tighter, now it's $60. So hi, Ashley. So the whole life challenge, it starts on Saturday. I actually, if you sign up for the challenge, I do have a private Facebook group only for those people. I have tons of other Facebook groups. I have Healthy Keto in the Kellie Kitchen, and I also have Healthy Keto work lunches and snacks. You're welcome. I would love to have you join those. But the whole life challenge private group, I actually just posted a full week meal plan with keto-friendly recipes. So if you want to be part of that challenge in that group, those recipes will be there for you guys to use. Okay, so that's done. We're going to wash that. I'm going to just wash my hands real quick. My kitchen smells amazing from that spice bread. If you guys just hopped on, I just, oh, hi, Ash. So I just put in a spiced zucchini bread. I had to kind of get it started quick because it takes 45 minutes in the oven. And if it's as amazing as I remember it, because I made it about a year ago, then that recipe will definitely go up on the website. It's very like of the season, fall, ginger spice sort of thing. And right now we're doing a green curry chicken in the Instant Pot. So I have my raw chicken in here with the curry, the coconut, and the 2 spices, coriander and cumin. That's right. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is, at this point, this is where I put my, where's my lid? There's my lid. Okay, so I'm going to put my lid on. Now, I had to teach my friend how to use her Instant Pot. I have an older version. She has a really fancy dancy one, but this is an older one, and this is the venting system. And when you put your lid on, you want this to be this way, and then once you seal it, you will move your vent to sealing. So this is venting, this is sealing. Okay, so I've got it on venting. I'm gonna close it. I love that noise. Okay, it's sealed. Now, the recipes that I've sort of been going off of, they kind of tell me we're gonna go meat for 4 minutes. I'm going to do it a little bit longer because I have a little bit more meat. So I'm going to go for 10 minutes. This is going to pressurize, and then it's going to cook for 4 minutes. While that's doing that, I will get the pumpkin sausage soup ready, and I will chop all the rest of the stuff for the zucchini. I'm sorry, for the green curry. So I'm going to turn you back this way so you can watch me make the pumpkin soup. So the pumpkin soup, I did put up on the website last week. It is a super duper favorite. You can make it dairy-free with either omitting the cream or using coconut milk. I'm totally fine with that. Let me turn this way. So I made this soup in 2 different versions. I do a mild Italian sausage and I do a spicy Italian sausage. It was universally liked both ways. I just happened to have an extra package of Italian sausage. This is the brand that I really like, Cantella's. And so I'll show you how we do that. So we're going to get this going. We will turn my pot on. Where's my olive oil? There it is. Okay, we're going to do, I don't know, maybe like a tablespoon. I got a new cutting board here, nice and clean, and I'll get a new knife. So I don't have to bother with cleaning the stuff that has the chicken on it. I am going to use a half of an onion, and I'm not going to be super duper crazy about this. I'm just going to do a rough chop, and we will get this in the oil. We're going to do this with some garlic in the oil, and then we're going to get the going, the sausage going in there, so that we can get that browned before we do anything else. Okay, so there is our onion. That's about, I would say that's about a half a cup, maybe a little bit more. Get that in there. We'll get that going on high. And again, I love my pre-peeled garlic. I don't have to do any peeling of this. And I'm sort of a heavy garlic person, so I'll use, I don't know, maybe like 3 of these for this recipe. Just put all of my trash in here. I don't want to have to keep going back and forth to the trash can, so I just dump everything into my sink. I don't care if it's dirty dishes or food products or anything like that. I just dump it all in there, and then I worry about cleaning it up afterwards. And okay, so now we've got that going. I do have to chop up some cauliflower. We all know how I hate chopping cauliflower. And but you can get cauliflower already in florets, and I don't know why I didn't do that this time, but maybe I couldn't find them at the supermarket. But remember how I did this before? I just chopped this in half. So then I reveal my florets, and then I'm going to cut here and here to make it as easy as possible. And then I'll cut one more time on the outside. Get that out of the way. So what else can I tell you guys? My intermittent fasting workbook, it went live on Amazon.com. You can just type in, I think you search intermittent fasting workbook, or you can just, type in my name, Kellie Logston, or of course it's on the website. And basically the intermittent fasting workbook is just a written journal for 8 weeks to kind of help me keep track of my fasting. Let's get this stirred around a little bit. Oh my God, this smells so good. My Instant Pot is still pressurizing. And my cauliflower's almost done. Let me show you, if you have never, I mean, all the Italians in the room, I'm sure you've done this a bazillion times, but I was sort of new to this. So these sausages, they come in this casing. See that casing? It kind of looks gross. But I just take a little knife. You just take a little tiny knife. I'm going to turn this down a little, just a tad. You just take a little knife. You see how I'm doing that? And then you just sort of slice and you peel off the sausage casing. Can you see that? And it reveals this beautiful sausage here, and then you get that in, and you don't eat. You can eat the casing, but we don't want it to cook in the casing. We want to ground it up a little bit and get it mixed in with the rest of the stuff that we're cooking. And I am kind of cooking this a little bit from memory. I've made it probably like 6 or 8 times in the last 2 weeks. So I feel like I'm pretty, like I really know what the recipe is. Okay, one little change to this recipe. Somebody asked me if we could do this instead of with kale. I guess they didn't like kale or something. They asked if we could do this spinach soup with spinach. So we're going to try it with spinach tonight and see how that goes. My onions are starting to caramelize, and we're going to put that in there. Okay, so this is kind of what you're left with, these little casing things. It's kind of gross. We'll just get that out of the way. And then what you do is you just start breaking up the sausage. You break up the sausage almost like it's ground beef, and you let it brown in there. And as soon as it starts browning, then you're going to put in the cauliflower, and we're going to let the cauliflower kind of get coated with all of the fat from the sausage and the onions and whatever. We're also going to add some bell pepper. Again, I was shopping my fridge. I went to the supermarket today at lunchtime, and I always bring a list with me, just sort of like in general in my head. I spent a lot of time in the produce section, but I happen to have forgotten red bell peppers. So I remembered that I actually had these bell peppers in my fridge. So these are just the same thing. These are just a small bell pepper, sweet bell pepper version. And I'm just going to use, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 of these. I'll add these to, they add a really nice pop of color. And they're really delicious. But I normally use a red bell pepper for this. It doesn't really matter either way. But this is now going to be a combo of red and yellow. So it'll probably almost look like a rainbow soup, because we're going to have the green from the spinach and the sausage colors. Now this is browning up very nicely. My Instant Pot smells amazing. I've got like a whole international kitchen going in here. I've got the Thai, I've got the Italian pumpkin, and then I've got the spiced stuff. So it's really too bad that I don't have anybody coming for dinner, but that's okay, because these soups that I'm making, and probably that chicken curry, they will probably freeze really well if we don't get to them. I'm a huge proponent of batch cooking, so that you don't panic and you're not like, oh my God, what is there to eat? Always have something on hand. But then you always have to shop your kitchen too. Rarely do I go into my fridge and say, we're not going to eat that anymore, and toss it. I don't know, maybe it's my own way of conserving food and my dollars. But anyway, so there's my bell peppers. I'm going to toss in, because my cutting board is so tiny. I'm going to start tossing in a lot of my veg here. And then I'll chop the rest of this stuff. Let's see, I think maybe I'll do 2 more bell peppers. And we'll just see. So I was up in Sonoma, and my friend has these electric bikes. They are so fun. Well, super expensive, but You can rent them all over town. And I've always seen people do it, and I've never really like wanted to, but they were still a workout, but super fun. And a lot of these places, especially here in Southern California or any sort of bigger cities, you can rent these bikes by the hour, and they are so, so fun. Okay, we're gonna give our peppers and our cauliflower a toss. I'm gonna do some more cauliflower. God, that smells so good. Our Instant Pot is starting to bubble and hiss, which means that it's starting to pressurize. Okay, here's the rest of my cauliflower. So my girlfriend that I went to go see, she's also a New York Times best-selling author. And she was really giving me some great tips for my cookbook. And it got me a little nervous because I started telling people that my cookbook is going to be done by like November 15th, and that was going to be my deadline. And now she's like, you know, don't jump the gun here. You want it to be perfect. So I'm having some second thoughts about that, but it is in the works. I work on it not every day because I don't have that much time every day, but I work on my cookbook almost every day, just a little bit. I've done all the formatting and layout myself, and you know, having to learn all of that. It's super fun, and it's just having to test all these recipes because I don't want to put anything in the cookbook that doesn't, you know, it's these, you know, ingredients are expensive. I don't want you to have to waste anything. So, okay, I'm getting the last of my cauliflower in, and again, I hate cutting cauliflower because it's such a mess. I'm going to do a few more of the bell peppers. Why not? They're really beautiful. Then we'll put in our spinach. I opened up a can of pumpkin last week because if you haven't seen it yet, my pumpkin cheesecake bars, they're crustless, so they have even fewer carbs. But when you have one of those big cans of pumpkin puree, you know, I wasn't going to use the whole can, so I just saved the other half, and then I have to make sure that I actually use it. You can actually freeze it also. So let's get these peppers in here. My Instant Pot is going bananas over there, and it smells delish. So as soon as I get all this soup stuff in here, then this will probably be done, and we can put all the other stuff in it. And I think that we're going to finish early tonight. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. But it's just great to have all this stuff going. What else can I tell you? It's supposed to rain this week. I cannot believe, like, it just feels like summer just flew by. And it was 90 degrees when I was up in Sonoma this weekend. But, you know, my job, I have to worry about these things all the time when I'm in my corporate life. So I'm keenly aware of that. But I'm kind of ready for sweater weather. It's kind of fun to get into the pumpkin spice season and sweater weather. So, okay. I wanted to be able to show you what this looks like. Let me get my funny. Look, did I show you these guys before? Look at these funny. I love these things because they fully encapsulate my hand. Hi. Okay, so this is what the soup looks like right now. You can see. We are going to add the pumpkin. Oh, wait, we got to add some seasonings. So first we're going to add some salt. That's about a teaspoon of salt. The recipe is on the website, and you can get super precise with the recipe, and it's really delicious. But I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm almost positive it was a teaspoon. I can always add more later. And then we'll do about a half a teaspoon of pepper. And then we're going to do a 15 ounces of pumpkin, which is just under 2 cups. So there's my pumpkin. It's just plain pumpkin puree. You do not want pumpkin pie filling. So we're gonna put that in. Pumpkin pie filling, they add a bunch of stuff to it so that you just basically dump it into like a frozen pie shell, and then you stick it in the oven, so it like kind of takes the work out for you. The pumpkin pie puree, when you're making pumpkin pie, you've got to add eggs, you've got to add cream, you've got to add all the spices. But that's why we want to use the pumpkin pie puree in our soup, because we don't want it to be the sweet stuff. Pumpkin does have carbs in it, but it also has fiber in it, and it's not the actual main ingredient of the soup. And because this soup probably has about 12 servings, it divvies up the carb count. Okay, I already made my chicken stock. I love to use either kettle and fire bone broth, or I use Better Than Bouillon, which is kind of like a chicken. It's kind of like a paste. But this is 6 cups of chicken stock. We are going to crank this up to high. Okay, again, last time, every other time I've made this with chopped kale. But this time we're going to do with spinach. I'm going to use a whole bag of this. This is 5 ounces. It's just a bag pre-washed. And my pumpkin stuff is starting to. So this is going to look super big in here, but as soon as you put the broth on it, it will start reducing and wilting down. So I just put half of the spinach in there right this second, but I'm going to get that to boil down. And as soon as I finish getting all of my stock in here and all of my spinach in here, then I'm going to bring it to a boil, and I'm going to let it simmer for like 15 minutes. And then we're going to taste it for seasoning. And then we will add just like a splash of cream. You don't even have to add the cream if you want to go dairy-free. That's totally fine. I always like the cream. I'm a cream kind of gal. In my Whole Life Challenge, the Whole Life is more of like a paleo. And I talked to Andy, and he absolutely said that I could do it however I wanted to. So I've done sort of a modified with like a keto friendly. And again, all those recipes are on my private Facebook group, which is Whole Life Challenge in the Kellie Kitchen. Okay, so there's my broth. I'm going to put the rest of my spinach, and we're going to get that to wilt down. Our Instant Pot is just finished sealing. So whenever somebody says, oh, things cook in like 2 minutes in the Instant Pot, yes, we're only going to cook this for 4 minutes. However, it just took about 6 minutes to pressurize. So you always need to account for that amount of time. Okay, so we're going to get this going. This is super happy in the pot. It smells really good. And it's got a nice chunky soup, like winter sort of feel, which is fun. We're kind of getting into the season. It was 80 or 90 this weekend, but there's that. I kind of subsisted a little bit when I was up because she's vegan, and they were very accommodating to anything I wanted to eat. But I brought my fat bombs. I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but I brought my nut butters from F-Bomb, and then I also brought my meat sticks, and those are so delicious. And they're not filled with any crap or anything, but they have spicy ones, and they have salt and pepper ones, jalapeno ones, and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so my soup is looking damn delicious. I'm going to taste it just so we can see what our flavor profile is. Because if I want to put a little soup or something, a little salt and pepper in right now, then I think that I should do it now. I don't need to. Wow. Okay. Tastes a little bit different with the spinach in it, but it still tastes good. So I'm gonna keep the lid off for right now. I am gonna bring that to a boil. It probably needs about another minute to bring it to a boil. And I am gonna get ready for my zucchini bread. Only has another 18 minutes. Doesn't look as good. I don't know. Well, I'll show you guys when it's done. It smells amazing. It doesn't look as polished as I made it last time, so that's why the recipe is not on the website, because I need to perfect it before I actually share it with you guys. Okay, so this is boiling now. I am going to turn it down, and I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to cover that baby up. So we are going to go back to our Instant Pot. Let that go. Okay, so we're going to put cilantro, snow peas, lime, and fish sauce. That's what we're going to add once it's done. So the first thing I need to do is I need to rinse these babies because these came straight from the supermarket, just from the whatever. So we'll rinse those. I always kind of wanted to do this whole Thai thing, and I'm really loving the ease of, I hope that this green, I tasted it before I put it in. This is the green Thai sauce that I used. It's available at every supermarket. I did not think that this was that spicy. I will share the zucchini bread recipe when it's perfected. I know it tastes good the last time I made it, but it was about a year ago. And I'm looking at it right now, and it smells good, but doesn't look so good. So, you know, if it doesn't photograph well, I'll share the recipe with you guys, but I don't know if I'll put it on the website because, you know, everybody likes the pretty pictures, and those are the ones that get the most attention. Or maybe I will add it to the cookbook when it's time. So anyways, so there's my green curry sauce. That is simmering. Those are good. We are going to chop up the other half of the onion. This is going to go in with the sugar snap peas and the mushrooms. After we do this 4 minutes, and the reason we're going to do this in stages is because the chicken takes longer to cook than the vegetables. So I'm going to cook the chicken, and then we're going to put all the vegetables and the rest of the stuff in, and then we're only going to do the Instant Pot for 1 minute. Or maybe even less than a minute, because it'll pressurize and then it'll be ready. So those are sort of the tricks that I'm learning about the Instant Pot, is that, you know, if you have a vegetable that cooks way faster than something else, then you don't want it to be mush when the other thing is just cooked. So you've got to kind of do some of these things in stages. And so anyways, I wish I had like another dessert to make for you guys. My fridge is a little bare because I was gone all weekend, because I don't have anybody that's going to be here tonight for dinner. Okay, so there is my onion. We're going to do the juice of 2 limes. Let me get this stuff out of the way. This is so crazy. This is, so in the zucchini bread, I use, where is it? I use butter extract. I just get this at the regular supermarket, this Kroger's, and then I get, you know, I just use regular vanilla extract. But then I also got, for the zucchini bread, look at this, because the zucchini bread calls for 3 tablespoons of cloves. I just got this jumbo thing of cloves, so we're going to be making that zucchini bread a couple of times. We might even make zucchini muffins or zucchini bars or some sort of spice, ginger, clove spice, something. Look, we're early in the season. Today is the first day of fall, so I should be wearing my pumpkin thing that my mom got for me, but I forgot. I don't even know where it is now. Okay, so we will chop. We will just slice the lime because we're just going to squeeze those in. My soup is simmering. let's give these a little wash and get that nice and good, nice and cleaned up. I am not a huge fan of fish sauce, but you need to add just like a dash. I think the recipe that I'm trying to follow, what is it? 2 tablespoons. Well, I'm not really a fan of it, but it adds like this savory flavor to traditional Thai stuff. So we will add it. Ooh, PU. So we're gonna add that just to give it the umami flavor. And I have a feeling this recipe is gonna be really good. Now, if I had had the foresight, I would have gotten some cauliflower rice and had cauliflower. If I had people coming to dinner tonight, I would have made cauliflower rice and then serve this over the cauliflower rice. We may even make this into like a soup. I'm not exactly sure. I think it will be brothy enough, but we'll just have to see. Okay, so we've got our limes, we've got our onions, we've got our, I'm gonna use a lot of cilantro. Thai cooking uses a ton of cilantro, so I'm gonna use a ton of cilantro. I am not afraid of it. You know, some people, it's like a genetic thing, when they eat cilantro, it tastes like soap in their mouth. And I don't think that I could live without cilantro in my life. I don't have it every day, but you know, it's like, for me, the more the better. It's so fabulous. Okay, so we're just gonna chop that up, and it's gonna give it a nice flavor. When we made that green paste from scratch, it was green chilies, like a couple different kinds of green chilies. We scraped all the seeds out, so you take all the heat out. Cilantro, the green chilies, garlic, fresh ginger. God, we had like 15 things that went into, and it made this really fabulous paste. And I can imagine it's sort of the Thai version of pesto. And I can imagine making like a double or triple batch of the Thai green sauce just to keep in my fridge. It also calls for a little bit of brown sugar. I'm going to use my trusty Lakanto. This is my Lakanto monk fruit sweetener. It is a blend of monk fruit and erythritol. Lakanto, it was so sweet to me. They actually sent me a whole package of samples of all bunch of different things. So we are going to be trying out this. I have no idea what I'm going to do with this, but this is no sugar added peanut butter powder. Haven't even tried it. It's keto friendly and super low carb. But I don't really know what to do with this yet, but we're going to try and figure something out. This is no sugar added, just peanut butter powder. And then they also sent me just the classic one. I ran out. They also have a brown sugar version, but I ran out of that. And then they also sent me, I hope nobody ate them. Oh, we're in luck. So for the last couple of years, only 1 minute left on that. For the last couple years, the only game in town for chocolate chips for the keto community was Lily's, and I still love Lily's, but they're ridiculously expensive. And I don't know how expensive these are, but Lakanto now has their own chocolate chips. And do you hear that? That means that our Instant Pot is ready. So I'm going to turn this way because I want you to see my girlfriend, when we were cooking at her house, one of the things that she did, she had her Instant Pot in the garage for like a year, and she never wanted to use it because she was like afraid of it. And I can totally imagine, if you've never done this, why you would think it is a little frightening, because we are going to do a quick release. And I just want to make sure that you can fully see that. Okay, so the YouTube one, you can fully see that. This one, let's see. You can fully see it. So remember how I had this middle thing on seal? So we're going to do a quick release, and we're going to put it on venting. Now, the vent it's not going to explode, I promise. It is locked. But I like to use like something with a long wooden handle. And we're gonna make the steam quickly release. I could just leave this here for like an hour and it would release on its own, but we're just gonna let it release. Don't be afraid, it's not gonna explode. See, not a big deal. So that is quickly gonna do its thing. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in some chicken broth and all of our other vegetables. We're gonna do 2 cups of chicken broth and all of our other vegetables for like a minute. And then we will have our Thai green curry chicken. So I think it's gonna be good. I have no idea. I almost feel like I need some suggestions about what you guys want to see made, because I loved seeing the inspiration. My pumpkin soup over here is very happy. It's got a nice thickness to it, and all the veg is coming together. Let me turn that up just a tad. Okay, so the steam has fully released, and now this is hot. Like the metal part is all hot, but the plastic is not hot. See, I can put my hand on it, and it's not scary. And I'm just gonna see how I open it. It's not a big deal, but it is still super hot, so you have to be careful. And I am gonna just lift this off. See all the steam coming up? Woo! That looks amazing. Smells amazing. All my chicken. There we go. So my chicken is cooked through. Now, I'm gonna add my onions, my mushrooms. Where are my mushrooms? I already got pre-done mushrooms, and I got these like little baby portobello mushrooms pre-sliced. Like I just have no time to be doing any slicing. So I'm going to add my pre-sliced container of portobello mushrooms. I'm going to add my onions and my cilantro right there. Oh my God, that smells so good. And then I'm going to add my chicken broth and my sugar snap peas. But wait, before I do that, I'm actually going to, you know what I'm going to do? I want to just give my sugar snap peas like a little slice and a half, because I don't want to have them be the whole thing. Just give them a little rough chop. And then I got to put my lime juice in. I probably want to give a little taste before I close the lid again. If you wanted to be fancy, you could cut your snow peas like on a bias, like a little angle. But we're not. When I take pictures of this, it'll be fancy. I promise you. But right now we're just going for flavor. Okay, so there are my sugar. These are just snow peas, and I'll put this all into like a little calculator, and we'll figure out how many carbs this is. I'm not so worried about the carb count, just because all of these are all sort of non-starchy vegetables. Let's see, what else do I need? Oh, the fish sauce. Oh my God, the fish sauce. Okay, so let me taste it before I put the fish sauce in. See what the flavor is like, because all these recipes call for, holy shnikes, that is so good. I wonder if I should even put this in. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put a tablespoon of this. I'll put half the amount that I'm really supposed to. I'll put a tablespoon of the fish sauce. They say you're supposed to do that. Maybe put half a tablespoon. They say you're supposed to. I don't know. But, okay. Yikes. Okay. There's my fish sauce. I'm going to put the juice of 2 limes and 2 cups of chicken stock. Again, I'm kind of making this up as I go, but I can already tell it's going to be amazing. There's something about, the coconut milk and the cilantro and the green chili paste, paste. that just makes it so amazing. And then because my girlfriend is vegan, she didn't have the chicken, but I wanted to add like a chunky animal protein to it. So we did it with tofu and red potatoes and baby corn and peas. So everything that we were making this weekend, which I ate all the broth. I kind of avoided all the starchy stuff. I just kind of ate around it and knew that I loved the flavor. But I think it's kind of fun because it's teaching me how to work with things that I've been cooking for like 20 years. I started 20 years ago with literally like a box of Meat Helper in a crappy tiny kitchen in Santa Monica. And I'm still learning new stuff all the time. And you just have to keep trying all the time. Okay. So all of that is good. I'm going to add in my chicken broth. Oh, this is just wait. It's amazing. Okay. So we're going to give this a nice stir. Yeah, because this is going to be a soup. Wow. How can I show this to you? Is this hot? Okay. Check it out. This is what I'm going to do. Don't tell anybody I'm doing this. I don't think you're supposed to do this. I don't think you're supposed to like touch it while it's plugged in, but I'm going to show you. Can you guys see that? Oh, shit. See? It wouldn't be a Kellie kitchen if I didn't spill something. Someday I'm going to have like a whole camera crew with like stuff over. Okay, we'll get that later. Whoops. Okay. You get the idea. Okay, so all of the soup is in here. And wow, this looks really good. And so now what I'm going to do, because the other thing is that those mushrooms that are in there, they're going to release their fluid too. So we, again, are going to put the lid back on. We're going to put it back to sealing just like that. We're going to cancel, and we're going to go manual for 1 minute, just 1 minute. And we'll see how long that takes to pressurize. But then it's only going to go for 1 minute, and then our soup will be done. Okay, so that's doing its business. I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to put this in recycle. But just so you guys know, again, you can get this at any supermarket, and it's not that spicy at all. So don't get scared about that. We'll see how that fish sauce made it all taste. Guess what's almost done? My gingerbread. My ginger zucchini bread. So let me get this junk out of the way. I know that this kind of looks scary, like all these dishes and stuff, but when I get it all here in one space, it's very manageable. Like I'm not overwhelmed because then I pick out all of the trash, and then that cleanup will take me like 3 minutes. So don't be afraid of the cleanup when you're doing these things, because it's really not as bad as you think it is. It's not as bad of a cleanup ever. So, okay. That, my friends. Wait, let me get my I'm gonna clean up the soup I spilled on the floor. Shh, don't tell anybody. The housekeeper's coming in a day or so. Anyways, the cats they'll be excited that I left them a little treat on the floor. Shh. Okay, so my soup is good. Oh wait, sorry, I forgot. Let's go get my zucchini bread. Turn that off. Okay, it kind of looks like a dry chocolate brownie. I'm not going to lie to you. It doesn't look so great. However, it smells great. Can you see that? That is my spiced zucchini bread. And I know it's going to taste amazing. I'm going to let it sit and cool for probably a full hour. And then I'll slice it up. And when I made this before, the best part of making this zucchini bread before, most of the time, people are sick of eating eggs for breakfast. Now, I don't ever eat breakfast. The first meal I ever have of any day is typically around noontime. And I may have eggs at around noontime, but I'm not a breakfast eater. I fast. I time restrict eat. So, oh shoot, you know what I forgot? You're supposed to put a teaspoon of this into the Thai. Maybe it doesn't need it. Well, after I'm done, after this is done, we will test it and we will see. So that is pressurizing. My pumpkin soup is now simmered and it's nice. All of my cauliflower is nice and soft and my spinach is nice and wilted. Let's put this in a nice, pretty bowl so you guys can see what that looks like. That is this soup. I'm going to, after it cools down, I might have that for dinner. I might have that for dinner. I'm not really sure. But after it cools down, I will package that. And then half of it will go into the freezer. I'll label everything. And it is the most perfect thing when you are in a scramble and you're leaving for your work in the morning and you just grab one of these things out of your freezer and it's like, bam, dinner is served. By the time you get home, it's thawed. And I really, I'm a huge proponent of that type of cooking. Oh my gosh, you guys, this looks so amazing. Now, I prefer the look of the red bell peppers, but there is nothing wrong with these orange and yellow bell peppers in here. Let me just grab a spoon. I'll show you guys what that looks like. I wonder how long this Instant Pot is going to take. Well, it is what it is. Okay, so here is my pumpkin sausage, and it's got cauliflower, and it's got bell peppers and onions, and it has just the right amount of like savory pumpkin, but it's not overwhelming, and it's beautiful. So this is what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. We're going to put that off to the side so it just cools down a little bit. I want this to finish so that you guys can see what happens to all the vegetables, but I don't know how long it's going to take me to pressurize it. And we only did it for a minute, but I have a feeling it's going to take like another 5 to 7 minutes to do this thing, to do its pressurizing thing. And I don't want to make you guys wait. So I think it's time to sign off from the Kellie Kitchen. I'm so happy that you joined me. You can find most of my recipes on thekelliekitchen.com. If you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just hit that subscribe thing, and then I think you hit the bell if you want to be notified when I go live. I'm going to try and continue doing both the Facebook and the YouTube because I feel like some people like this and some people like this. So remember, Whole Life Challenge, wholelifechallenge.com. If you want to get healthy with me for the next 6 weeks, we've got 13 people on our team. It is not hard to do. And it's just about taking care of yourself for 6 weeks. Sleep a little bit better, drink some more water, do a little bit of exercise. wholelifechallenge.com starts on Saturday. Join my team, the Kellie Kitchen, and it's just a lot of fun, and it's a great way to support each other and be healthy and try to be better moms and dads and parents for our kids and for our families. So thanks for joining me again at the Kellie Kitchen, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Bye.